Greetings, my friends. Please consider supporting me in my war to save pop culture by subscribing to my channel and possibly even becoming a channel member for exclusive videos, access to Doomcock emojis, and more. And if you like this video in particular, please consider using the new Super Thanks feature and putting a tip in the tip jar located next to the like buttons down at the bottom of the video. Thank you for watching, and now, on to the video. My friends, I have received a report from my Hollywood spies that Kathleen Kennedy may be in far worse trouble than we had previously believed. In my previous video, I discussed a huge meeting that I'm told is scheduled for today, which allegedly is going to shake things up at Lucasfilm very badly, and my Hollywood spies have provided me with a scoop that may well explain a lot of the mysterious happenings at Lucasfilm these past few weeks. We had assumed that Kennedy's recent problems sprang from her mishandling of Indiana Jones 5, but what if there's something else? Something even potentially worse that gives Iger the crowbar he needs to pry her out of the president's chair. That's what we'll be discussing in the video today, my friends, as we try to figure out why there are allegedly 5 mysterious Disney executives prowling the hall of Lucasfilm and digging through Kennedy's emails. According to numerous sources, things are very bad at Lucasfilm right now, as the aforementioned Disney executives referred to in previous videos as the 5 Horsemen of the Apocalypse purportedly continue their reign of terror, roaming like Nazgul through the halls, looking for their version of the One Ring of Power. But what exactly is this object or information they seek? What exactly are they looking for? That's the big question, and if we knew what they were looking for, we'd almost certainly know the answer to the questions posed by recent rumors. Questions like, why is Kathleen Kennedy's Lucasfilm email account currently disabled? Why is Kathleen Kennedy out of the office? Why was Carrie Beck's email allegedly disabled, then reinstated? And in what form will Bob Iger take his revenge?
Well, now, you have me interested, being a vengeful sort of fellow myself. What revenge would Bob Iger want, and against whom,
What revenge, you ask, O Skull of Calderon? If you recall, according to a rumor reported by my Hollywood spies and by Cameron Pashaw's source Sparrow, Iger and Kennedy had a private one-on-one meeting in which he warned her if Indiana Jones and the Dull of Disinterest did not make $900 billion at the box office, there would be consequences. Well, it's quite clear now that Indy 5 isn't going to come close to hitting $900 million. It's a box office flop that's only about to get worse with the release of Mission Impossible 5. And by the way, you may ask, if the meeting was only between Iger and Kennedy, then how do we know about it? Well, in this case, my friends, the spy in question was none other than Kathleen Kennedy herself. Apparently, Iger did not pull any punches in his meeting with her, and when she came out, she was ranting all over the office how pissed off she was. How dare he talk to her like that? And my agent simply overheard it right from the proverbial horse's mouth. If she hadn't been ranting, we would have no idea what happened at this meeting. As it is, I'm told she was so damn pissed off, they had to talk her out of sending a vicious email to Iger afterwards, a circumstance of which I'm certain Iger is aware, if this rumor is true. Then last Monday, Iger and Kennedy reportedly had another meeting, apparently also with a number of other executives, where they grilled her about the failure of Indy 5, you know, asking for accountability and all that other kind of inconvenient stuff. And instead of being contrite for this spectacular debacle, she allegedly turned it all around and attacked Iger himself. And allegedly, Iger lost his temper. All this points to revenge, Skull of Calderon, looming revenge. And it seems that Kennedy may finally have broken the proverbial camel's back with one too many failures and one too many acts of disrespect toward the boss. But today, I want to talk about a third element of pain in this equation, a report from my Hollywood spies that may shed some light on what the five horsemen of the apocalypse are looking for, why Kennedy's email is down, and why Kennedy's tenure as president of Lucasfilm may come to an ignoble end at last. At this point, I must state that what I'm about to tell you is information provided to me by my Hollywood spies, but since I cannot independently verify this information, I am presenting it as unverified rumor, and I ask you all to take it with a grain of salt. So on July 1st, I received this tantalizing report from my amazing Hollywood spies, and I'm going to present it to you verbatim, albeit with a few deletions to protect the identity of the source. Here is what my Hollywood spies said, quote, "While Indy may be the last straw, we now have enough information on the subject of Acolyte to bring it to you. We have this information through our newest source, and according to this source, the real reason KK's ass may be in trouble is the following. KK has allegedly been sending some money allocated for other projects to the Acolyte. This is what we've been told. Let's say Disney gave $100,000 for Andor. Well, she would take 20 to 30K and send it to the Acolyte. The source says she was cooking the books. Allegedly, this has been going on for some time, and $300 million may not even begin to cover how much money KK has burned on the Acolyte's making."
Jumpin' Jiminy Crickets, Batman! Your Hollywood spies previously reported the rumor that Leslie Headland had blown hundreds of millions of dollars on the Acolyte, but allegedly had precious little to show for it because sources claimed she didn't know what she was doing. And if that money wasn't even supposed to be allocated to Headland in the first place, that would make it not only a terrible waste of money, but also an unauthorized waste of money that lands squarely on KK's plate?
That's what this source claims, Harvey Cthulhu. But again, I'm only sharing what I've been told, and I recommend you ingest it with a high sodium intake. My Hollywood spies continue, quote, "According to this source, the reason this has come to light is Leslie sent KK emails about this, and some were shared with her office account along with her personal email. This is why her email is down at the moment, because HR is involved along with Bob Iger. We are continuing to follow this," unquote.
If this is true, and that's a big if, then it is entirely conceivable that this may be the end of the road for Kennedy. Sadly, that road is lined with the flaming wrecks of franchise after franchise, but at least it appears her proverbial license to drive Lucasfilm may finally be suspended. Looks like we saved Howard the Duck from being run over. Hooray, he said without enthusiasm.
And yet, as Richard the Lion-Hearted said in the film classic The Lion in Winter, "When the fall is all there is, it matters." Now, I cannot reveal who this source is for reasons I won't get into, but a source independent of my Hollywood spies told me they could confirm that these 5 Disney executives, quote, "have uncovered that there is fiscal malfeasance on the Acolyte. I have no doubt that Iger will use this as a sword against Kennedy in case she resists being pushed out," unquote. Now again, take all of this with a teaspoonful of salt, folks. There are also hints that some of this alleged malfeasance could be so egregious as to potentially even bleed over into something more substantial, according to this same source. Interestingly enough, Cameron Pashaw's source Sparrow previously mentioned there was a strange feature to this investigation of Kennedy's emails. When office staff offered to assist the 5 horsemen in combing through the emails, they allegedly declined, citing chain of custody as the reason. Chain of custody is a legal term for legal proceedings, so that would tend to suggest that yes, there could be legal ramifications involved if this rumor is true, though at this point only an expert could tell us the nature of those legal ramifications, if any. I have no idea myself. I'm only a simple country supervillain, not a lawyer. I'm only reporting what I've been told, and all of this I must point out again. I am presenting solely as rumor. Do not take it as gospel.
So how long do you think it'll be before we have some real answers about all this? If there's a meeting today, should we hear something soon?
At this point, we can only speculate. The 5 horsemen of the apocalypse have everyone spooked. They are, I'm told, kind of like Nazgul in Lord of the Rings, and everyone cowers as they pass on their grim errands. I myself have likened them to the black-clad bald engineers in Dark City, gliding down the halls, putting some to sleep, and rearranging their furniture, metaphorically speaking. So at this point, people may be too intimidated to leak anything for a while, or it may spill out immediately afterwards. Hell, for all I know, Iger may want it to leak, to bolster his case in the court of public opinion. We really have no idea. I've also heard from a source that this meeting may be scheduled for later this week, or possibly both are true, and there's a meeting today and later this week. The fog of war comes into play at this point, folks, but as soon as my Hollywood spies can light us a path through the murk, I'll be back with an update. From the center of the earth, this is Dictor Van Doomcock bidding you all, my friends, stay angry.
Ha ha ha.